Tiffany's at it again, y'all, with a new rebrand. Hey, yes indeed. Tiffany is back and she is working on the new rebrand, y'all. She is in the studio. So what's coming up? What's she up to? Well, I'm telling you what, I think she's going to try. She's going to attempt to copy Nicki Manaj. Huh? That's what the rebrand is going to be. Mark my words. In fact, let's just run over here. There's a little clue that we can see on the Facebook page that what I'm telling you is right. Let's jump over to Facebook. Okay, so here she is on Facebook. There's the new song. Oh gosh, that's ridiculous. I can't wait to hear this song. Okay, so let's just scroll on down and see what's going on. The comments are hilarious though. The funniest comment that was posted, well, you see she's got a lot of support. Look at all these people that are definitely Tiff fans. They are pumping her up. But here's the funny one. Look what Sheila Wilson posted. There seems to be no signs of intelligent life anywhere. Okay, so that's pretty good. All right, let's scroll down and show you what she has posted. There's little Justice dancing. Little Tiffany clone there. She's looking more and more like her mama lately, isn't she? Got her cute little purple dress on. Got her braids in with the little beads. Cute little kid there. A wedding or some type of event there. All right, so we'll scroll on down. There's the baby dancing again. There's our little baby there. Cute little Christmas outfit. And what do we have? Here's the post made on December 22nd where Tiffany states facts. Okay, she's stating them facts, y'all.
She got the facts. She got the facts. Straight facts.
Support Nicki Manaj, okay? True support doesn't disappear when things get uncomfortable. She incredibly talented and continues to make an impact through her work. Team Super Mayor Tiffany Henyard stands with you, Nicki. I bet Nicki's just so happy to hear that she has support from the super mayor. That's probably the turning point in Nicki's whole career, is when she got this news that the super mayor is now in support of her and standing up for what she believed in. And courage like that deserves recognition and respect. Okay, so if those of you who don't know, whole thing about Nicki Manaj, she came out on social media in support of Donald Trump going into Nigeria to defend the Christians who were being persecuted and basically unalived, a genocide that was going on where the Muslims were slaying the Christians in Nigeria. And so then she comes out where you find out that she's a conservative and she even supports, what's his name? Turning Point USA. She showed up at the big Turning Point USA event, and now you've got like Googles of MAGA people that are now Nicki Minaj supporters. And, you know, it's interesting that she went from the most vulgar, foul-mouthed rapper out there to now she's a conservative and talking about God, talking about Christianity. It's pretty interesting, but it seems to me, whether you like that or don't like it, Nicki Minaj, guys, I think she's being sincere in what she's saying. I think she truly believes in what you've seen her talk about in the clips, and it's coming from the heart. All right. Whether you like it or not, you know, you might not like the fact that she's supporting Turning Point or coming out talking about supporting President Trump. You might not like it, but I don't think we can deny the fact that she is speaking from her heart and Nicki Minaj believes what she is saying. And that's kind of in stark contrast with the super mayor. Let's jump back to the studio here. Now, a few videos ago, we talked about Tiffany going on that podcast where she was stating facts. Okay, I told you I was going to bring you updates when Tiffany is speaking facts. All right. And so cut back to that, podcast, let's just show a clip here where we see some of the evidence that she's trying to copy the pattern here of Nicki Manaj in hopes to tap into the millions of MAGA supporters. Maybe she's sucking up so she can get a pardon from President Trump. Yeah, maybe President Trump will say, hey, I got Nicki Manaj. I have a chance to pick up the next big conservative rapper because Tiffany Henyard, she in the studio, y'all. She in the studio. So let's just cut to that clip real quick.
Because right now, Republicans are doing a good job to me. This is my opinion.
No, of course.
Everybody got their own opinion.
Everyone has their own opinion.
What, when, where. I'm only speaking because I lived it by me being a Democrat, and my very own is the ones that was attacking me. Right. And they're Democrats.
So there you have it. She comes out and she's in support of President Donald Trump. Okay, well, honestly, guys, there's a few things that I think are working against her. I mean, it's a great idea. Copy Nicki Minaj and become the darling of MAGA, right? And then Trump will love you and, get you out of all the trouble that you are into. But here's the thing. There's 4 reasons why I don't know if this new rebranding is going to work for Tiffany. She's trying. We'll give her that. She's trying and she's speaking facts, y'all. She's speaking facts. But here's the thing. Nicki Manaj has a very long and consistent record of speaking her mind, and she doesn't lie, okay? She tells you what she really thinks, and she doesn't contradict herself. That's point number 1. Point number 2, Nicki's political statements come from her own beliefs, where Tiffany flip-flops and she just kind of changes like the wind blows, where she's just looking for help so she can get herself out of trouble. And that might mean grifting off the Democrat Party 1 minute, and she turns around and hints that she's going to be an independent. Then she jumps on board with the Republicans, then turns back around and says, well, I am a long-standing Democrat. And then flip-flops again and claims that she's supporting the Republican Party as she talks about how the Democrats are not really serving the black community's best interests and needs. That part is slightly true, but she's flip-flopping too much. Okay, third point. Tiffany's shifts really kind of come across as reactive and self-serving. So every time that she makes a shift and comes out with a rebrand, it's in reaction to the situation that she's in. It's self-serving. She's just looking for somebody to grab a hold and, support her. She's looking for new backers and new supporters, all right? And then the last reason why I think this rebrand is not going to work is because some of the people, viewing this, they really think she's just trying to appeal to the Republican Party to tap into that legal protection because she's under a lot of scrutiny from the FBI. And I don't think that's going to work. Now, there are a lot of you who think that the FBI investigation is dead, and no matter what facts I present you with, the light bulb is still not coming on. You're thinking that all the thousands of hours and the millions of dollars that have been spent on this FBI investigation are all for naught because it's just going away. And in the last FBI investigation update that I gave you, that most of you did not watch, I gave you the one clue, the key clue that this investigation is going to heat up in 2026, and it's not going to be good for Tiffany. So on the first update I did, it's over, 7,000 views. But then when I gave the big clue, that video is only at about 2,000 views. So a lot of you did not see it. And I've got a card coming up at the end that will link you straight to that video. Because if you have not seen it, to see the big clue and understand what I'm talking about, you need to go back and watch that video because it's indisputable. So for all of you that really think that the FBI is not on point, that they're going to drop all of this, I need you to try to refute that evidence that I showed you. And this is what happens in every big investigation, every big FBI case always plays out the same exact way. And yes, it takes a lot of time. And as I've always predicted, I think this is going to end up turning out just like it did for Kwame Kilpatrick from the city of Detroit, where my mother was born and raised. I spent many summers in Detroit. I was born in Chicago on the South Side. Shout out to all my South Side peeps and all my family in Chicago. So now let's ask you a couple of key questions. It's time for you to chime in, people. Question number 1. Is this a real transformation, or is this going to be another failed rebrand? That's question number 1. All right, question number 2. Do you think that this strategy is going to work out well? And will this rebrand stick? Or is she just going to flip-flop and change the script again on us like she's always done? Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. I'll be curious to see. And then we're going to serve up some more facts. I got more videos coming your way where I agree with Tiffany Henyard. We're going to have to give credit where credit is due when she's spitting facts, y'all, okay? Because sometimes she does spit facts, okay? And I still need to serve up that video where I'm going to do a comparison. And this is going to be a pro Tiffany Henyard video. I'm going to throw together a comparison between Super Mayor Tiffany Henyard and Ghetto Jasmine Crockett. And I'm going to tell you which one is the real one and which one is the fake. And I will let you know who I have more respect for. So would you like to predict who you think I'm going to tell you that I have more respect for? Do you think I have more respect for Tiffany Henyard? Or do you think I have more respect for the Ghetto Jasmine Crockett, who is from Missouri, the state that I mainly spent most of my life in right now, St. Louis, Missouri, where I have family? Post that in the comments too and let me know. And you better be liking the video so we can get this pumped out there in the algorithms. Like, comment, subscribe, hype the video. If you see the hype button, and you might not, I'd appreciate it if you would hype this video. Thank you in advance if you do that for me. And then we're going to get on to other hot political topics. And just a reminder, I've got to relate a lot of these other hot political topics to Tiffany Henyard, and we're going to have Tiffany speak of facts. And it might seem silly, but I have to include Tiffany on every video because the algorithm does not serve out my videos unless Tiffany is somehow involved. It's silly, but that's the way it is, y'all. That's the way it is. Well, anyway, hope you have a great and fantastic Tuesday. I'll see you on the next one.